Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Curly K Glam, and I'm here today to bring you All Americans Review, Season 5, Episode 9. I can feel it in the air. Let me tell you something. Y'all. 3 themes I got from this episode is honesty. I guess truth and honesty go together. And emotional intelligence. Nobody in this episode was honest with each other or honest with themselves. And I'm trying not to turn this into a sermonette because I'm just, I'm trying something new and rolling with this story when I watch TV now. Because I know I've been noticing, like, with a lot of TV shows, I don't know if it's just because, like, creatively I be doing a whole lot of things. And I just know, like, sometimes the thought process that goes into being an artist. And you just don't want to critique people's art because, some people are very sensitive, like, very much so sensitive about their creativeness. But, like I said, honesty and emotional intelligence. I've been waiting on Patience to come back, y'all, because, like, I just was wondering what they were going to do with Patience's character. And they're turning Patience into this character that's being sucked in by social media. And I know, like, a lot of celebrities and a lot of people get sucked into social media. And, like, even with doing, like, reviews or, like, when you tweet things or when you post things on Instagram and you, like, and I'm just doing this for fun. Like, I don't even really care about, like, none of this. I just do this because, like, I'm like, hey, I got some things in common with some people. And so maybe, with this, we'll have similar interests or whatever like that and whatnot. And sometimes even the comments on here can get, like, a little wayward and a little sideways. But after you look at that comment, like, it's important for you to know who you are and know your intentions, because everybody might not feel your intentions. Everybody might not think the same way you feel. Everybody might not agree. But people need to learn how to be okay with that. Like, who cares? And so immediately, like, and this is just one thing that I do, like, immediately when I get a negative comment or I get a weird comment, I delete it. I just go ahead and delete it. And I know it's not that easy for people who have, like, a huge following like Patience does. But people need to know, like, this is social media. Like, all of this is a warp. Like, it's fake. It's a mirage. Like, it appears real, but it's not real. And even, like, for example, social media has, people blame social media for a lot of things, but I feel like you need to learn how to control your social media. People see things all the time, whether it's tragedies, whether it's, things to do with image. A lot of what people perceive on social media has made them change a lot of things about themselves when there was nothing wrong with them in the first place. And outside of you knowing who you are and the real you, it's important for you to shape your social media and frame what you see. The most important things about a person's heart and their soul is what goes in it through your eye gates or your ear gates. And whether you hear it or whether you see it, it's just like, for example, how can I put it? Like, you can mute certain words. You can unfollow certain pages and not see stuff. And you can follow things that inspire you. Like, for example, I like hair. I like nails. I like jewelry. You know, I even like clothes from time to time. It all depends on what kind of clothes, though. Because I ain't really into that whole fast fashion stuff. But, like, my whole Instagram is full of artists who do hair and nails, or hair and nails basically. And I have a few celebrities up there, like some athletes, because I used to be an athlete. I got some like basketball players up there, volleyball players, you know, stuff that's gonna inspire me or stuff that I'm interested in. You have to legit turn your Instagram into like a Pinterest board. And that's even if you into like Pinterest. Like, I got like Bible verses. I got people who like say motivating things, you know, stuff like that. And so to see Patience take every comment and rip herself to shreds, she's doing nothing but like legit tearing herself down. And that's a hard thing to, you know, sit there and watch. Especially because I felt like we really didn't even get Patience established as her own person. Like, because for the longest we knew Patience from being with Coop. Patience ain't really had no storyline like on her own to develop her own individuality as a character. And I felt like she should have got that before we go down this whole thing with tearing down her self-esteem with social media. That's the crazy part. But yeah, also, sorry, I had to look at something on my computer really quick. But yeah, this whole thing with the coach at GAU and Jordan knowing about Billy taking the head position, and Jordan talking to Layla. Like, of course, it's nothing wrong with Jordan and Layla keeping their relationship a secret, because like they've seen firsthand what their friendships does to their relationships when anybody gets in a relationship. That's the one thing. Number two, it's just a simple fact of the matter, like, Jordan decided to stay at GAU, and he's saying it to Spencer. He just sprung it on Spencer. They didn't even like have a conversation. And I understand like that dynamic of friendship and whatever. And Spencer figuring out Jordan and Layla's together, really no big deal, because technically JJ already knew. JJ was already sworn to secrecy. Now Spencer's sworn to secrecy, so it's just like, okay, so what? So now, here we go with Jordan feeling bad because Spencer figured out the whole situation with him and Layla, and Jordan thought he was busted about knowing about his daddy being the head coach, but that's nothing. Spencer wasn't even nowhere near thinking about anything like that. So it's just the fact that, like, all in all with that, Billy had to accept the truth. Like, how are you feeling? It seemed like to me Billy is unsure about taking this job at GAU, because like they said initially, he was supposed to take the job. He was supposed to go to the AD and convince the AD to give Kenny the job, because they wanted Kenny to be head coach. But obviously, because of what's going on, the scandal that's going on, Kenny is not like you know, in a runnings becoming anything because Kenny is guilty by association. So with that being said, it's just a simple fact that like everybody is, as far as football, is stuck in between a rock and a hard place. It's stuck in between a rock and a hard place because Billy don't want to be honest and say he took the head coaching job because he's afraid of what Spencer's going to think. Jordan is happy his dad just told him something first instead of telling Spencer, but now he's starting to feel guilty because he can't have a conversation with Spencer about it because not only is it going to affect Jordan, but it affects Spencer as well. And so now that, how in the world is the AD going to tell Spencer that Billy took the job after he told Billy not to tell nobody, even though Billy told Jordan? To me, it's crazy. Like, I just don't, it's just all crazy. And so now it's finna look like everybody kept Spencer in the dark because everybody knew but Spencer. And he gonna feel like, you know, like, y'all could have just told me because, like Jordan said, the number one thing with Spencer is honesty. Speaking about that, so we're going to go ahead and pivot the conversation other way. So Spencer was not honest with himself. Like, how can somebody say, oh, well, you know, the number one thing about Spencer is he cares about honesty. But Spencer ain't being honest with himself. And this goes back to what I said last week on last week's review. Spencer, and this is what being honest and leading into emotional intelligence. This honesty is leading into emotional intelligence because all Spencer and Spencer and Olivia just needed a conversation. They have not cleared the air. They have not received closure. They have not done any of that. Neither one of them have been honest with each other because they don't want, they think their relationship got so hurtful that neither one of them want to talk about what happened. And in order, unless it's like completely toxic, like, I mean, like, you know, this person's not good for you and it's completely toxic. I don't view what happened between Spencer and Liv one of the situations where your relationship was just, or it was completely toxic. And I know people have to do things on their own time. But see, here's the thing about moving on your own time. Heal first. And that's where the emotional intelligence comes in. Heal first. So now you had Alicia just sit there and pour her heart to you, which I feel like her pouring her heart to Spencer was kind of late. Which, you know, Spencer said something about her, is he being late? Like, her telling Spencer all of that was late. Because, like Spencer said, she's the one who established the boundaries. She's the one who established the rules. So to me, and it's just me, and I'm a girl, like, to me, if I tell a guy, like, we just kicking it, or whatever, like I said, sometimes I just don't even feel like ladies can even be in that place of just being friends, because you can't be friends with somebody and be giving your body to somebody and then be like, oh, we friends, and think it's not going to turn into nothing more. Because 8.5 times out of 10, it turns into something more. You just ain't going to just be sitting here and just be giving your full self to somebody and be like, oh, I'm cool, bye, see you later. Like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. And so then she wanted to flip on Spencer and be like, oh, well, I need you to make a choice. I don't feel like she was in that position to tell him that. I don't feel like that was fair for him, even though Spencer was very understanding, which I props to that. But after I read I keep calling that girl Layla. After I read Liv last week, I'm going to read Spencer, because I read Liv and I read Alicia. But now I'm going to read Spencer, because Spencer, that's not fair. After that girl sat there and poured her heart to you, you told that girl in the beginning that you were not ready. That was your honest answer. You were not ready. You are not ready to be in that relationship with that girl, and you are not in that relationship with that girl because of fear. That's a whole completely different thing. And this is where I feel like the writing was off. Because, again, like, in somebody Spencer's age, them making that decision to get in a relationship with somebody else, a full relationship with somebody else, because you thought you saw your ex being happy with somebody else, and you think that is that was dependent upon your happiness. You explain your happiness because no, no, absolutely not. I just don't agree. I don't agree, especially like at that age, at that big age. Like, you saw Liv with that guy and you thought she was happy. So you was like, oh, well, if she's happy, I got the right to be happy. You do have a right to be happy. But with you pursuing that happiness, you need to know that your intentions are full well with that girl. The only reason why you are now ready to be happy is because you think Liv has moved on and you think y'all ain't getting back together. So now you trying to secure your spot to make sure you're good on your end and that you have somebody. And that's not honest. And that's going to leave Alicia right back in that spot that she said that she didn't want to be in when she didn't want to be the other woman. Not to say that she the other woman, but she is a rebound. Period. It ain't no nice or prettier way to put it. Alicia is a rebound. I know Spencer might like Alicia, and yeah, sometimes when you having all them entanglements, you think you develop feelings of liking a person, but all y'all been doing is having entanglements. You don't know nothing about that person. So how in the world is you gonna get in a full relationship with somebody you don't know? You didn't even get to know the girl. Like, y'all didn't even date. Y'all was just casually kicking it. I mean, like, y'all didn't even date to even get in a relationship. And that's where the emotional intelligence comes in. Now, Liv, on the other hand, I feel like Liv has been thinking. And like I said, I feel like last week Liv was protecting herself. And she was keeping her distance with Spencer out of the fact that she didn't want to spend her money. So we back on the currency. She didn't want to invest in Spencer because she felt like it was a risk to spend her coin, her emotional coin. But now she done built up enough in her emotional bank where she's questioning herself as to if I'm willing to spend my emotional coins on Spencer. But now, of course, in typical TV fashion, it's too late because Spencer and Alicia are in a relationship. So now that's going to hurt her more because after all them situations that Spencer done had with Olivia, them run-ins, with them talking about their feelings for 30 seconds, instead of just sitting down, confronting the issue on the table and having a real life conversation with somebody who you cared about, you done went and got Noah entangled, and he looked hurt. He just looked pure hurt when he left because Liv pursued him, and then she pulled the reins on the horse, and then he felt like he was left hanging. And he just looked sad. I feel bad for him because I'm just like, dang. This started off as something to just make Spencer jealous, and now this little boy done caught feelings. Well, I think he already had feelings, but he went deeper in his feelings, and she ain't ready. Like that whole seeing Spencer in the mirror, talking about seeing things you don't want to see, her seeing Spencer in the mirror was just the way to let the audience know that regardless of what Liv has been saying all them other times, Liv is still in a place where she wants to be with Spencer. She just don't know how to tell Spencer because she feel like she hurt Spencer and let him down. But now Spencer is so caught up in the physical with Alicia, he thought he cared about Alicia, but we all know that he don't care about Alicia like that, because as soon as Liv says, Spencer, I still love you, it's going to be the same thing that happened with Layla. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to have to clean this up so they can be together. Y'all, that's a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot. And I just, as Alicia, like, I just feel like, sorry, I think that was a garbage truck. But if I was Alicia, just knowing, like, where Spencer has come from, like, where Spencer has been, and where he has come from, especially with, like, what she said, how Spencer was looking at Olivia, like, she should have went with her first instinct and just cut that off, because there should never be a time where, regardless of what a man say to you, if he was that emotionally entangled, it's one thing to be physically entangled with somebody, because that physical crap gonna fizzle out eventually. But to be like, when a man is emotionally involved with a woman, and I mean to the point where it's like, Spencer and Liv was physical, but they was, do I want to say spiritually? Well, they had the physical plus the feelings. So they was on a higher playing field than what Spencer and Alicia is on. Because it's one thing to feel, and then it was a while for them. Like, before they actually started being physical, before Liv and Spencer actually started being physical with each other, they was together for a minute. Like, because Liv was trying to sort her own stuff and get her own stuff together. And now she was emotionally intelligent in that. She was trying to get herself together to make sure that she won't, trying to sway her feelings about, using or her recovery and putting it on Spencer. She was smart about that. And I was like happy for her with that, because she chose herself first in that situation, and Spencer was willing to understand, he was willing to wait. But they built themselves, they had all that friendship, and then romantically they built themselves to where once they went physical, like, it was more than just being physical. They was like, everything was, I guess, in alignment with them. You know what I mean? Like, but that Spencer is just way more, his feelings for Liv run deeper than just romantic and physical. Like, they think that they were each other's soulmate, and that's the way it was painted to us on camera. So as far as the viewer is concerned, Liv and Spencer are soulmates. So can you just imagine your soulmate just out here with somebody skipping down the street thinking they happy, and then you just like, but what about me? That's exactly what it's looking like. That's exactly what it's looking like. And now that Spencer done went and made this dumb decision to take things to the next level with Alicia, I'm like, really, bro? Really? Really, bro? Really? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That was highly frustrating to watch. Outside of that, we got that whole build up with Jamie last episode, and now we don't even know how Jamie is doing. How y'all gonna do us like that? Jamie was clutching her chest the whole episode, And now the next episode, we don't even get to know how Jamie is doing. We just get, oh, Jamie's still getting tests run on her. We gonna take her some clothes to the hospital. Or take Asher some clothes. All American. You know, we're gonna charge season 5 to the game. We're gonna charge season 5 to the game. But next season, season 6, I'm gonna need for y'all, that writer's room, I'm gonna need for y'all to step y'all cookies up. Because this is, no. And the crazy part is, like, I don't even have the kind of attachment with All American like some of the other viewers do, because I just a couple of months ago, binge watched All American just so I would have background for All American Homecoming, because I came into this All American Homecoming fan. But just so I would know the backstory on Simone and her relationship with Jordan, I binge watched All American just so I would know where Simone came from, what her dealings was in LA, and all of that before she got to Atlanta. So but I'm just on the outside looking in. I'm just like, now if I was a fan of the show, I would be pissed. So, like, yeah, I understand people's frustrations when I be seeing them tweeting stuff on Twitter when the show be going on Mondays. I know I'm late, though. But still. So, yeah, y'all. I think that's all for this review. I done went 26 minutes in. So, excuse me, y'all, while I'm playing with my leave out. Obviously, you see it's not cooperating, but that's okay because I'm gonna get myself together. But yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned to my trailer breakdowns for episode 10. Go back if you haven't and watch my All American Homecoming review for episode 9, season 2. And I'll be back next week with a review. Deuces.